Hi, I'm Daniel Fagenstrom, and this week we were to talk about applying rules to the game idea that we had. So, going with the kind of space exploration game that I came up with, I think I was able to figure out how to apply the rules to it. First, there'd be the operational rules, and I would assume that those would just be the same as trying to play any game on the computer. You'd need to install it, and you'd need to have the necessary hardware to run it. And then once it's up and running, you'd have to be familiar with how to use a mouse and keyboard for gameplay. Then kind of the foundational basic rules. The most basic rule is if your character, the captain, dies, or if the empire that you're aligned with loses its last planet, then it's game over. At first I kind of had it so if you lose your ship, it's also game over. But then I thought, there's plenty of instances where people have, in a sci-fi setting, if someone had a ship and it gets destroyed, if they're still alive, they could always get a new ship and you could rename it, and this way, I didn't limit it so you're stuck with one ship. And then I thought, maybe losing a scenario and losing the ship would give you a chance to buy a better one or move on to a something new. And then kind of another foundational rule would be that doing certain things would earn you skill points, and then with these skill points you could buy special abilities for your captain when he's in combat. I kind of pictured the combat being kind of a third-person shooter kind of style, kind of squad-based, so kind of like Mass Effect's gameplay, or even XCOM Declassified: The Bureau, which is the third-person squad shooting XCOM, and not the turn-based one. As for written rules, I think I'd want included with it kind of like a full big-length book, kind of like the first Diablo. The instruction booklet for it. It's a big book filled with artwork and lore on all the enemies and characters, and there's a lot of information here and a lot of work and effort went into this thing. They didn't just kind of throw it together. Whereas if you compare it to the written rules that come with a game today, Saints Row 4, it's a little fold out pamphlet. One whole section is dedicated to advertising their website, and it pretty much only exists to give you the online passcode. So, they sort of didn't even really bother making an effort with that one. And then advisory rules, could always kind of put tips on the loading screen, or, I don't know, have characters mention them offhand, or just, maybe a way for players to mention to each other tips. Stuff like don't explore outside your means. If you're just starting the game, you're not going to want to explore way out there because something big might destroy you, or you might run out of fuel or not be able to get back to friendly space. And other stuff such as keep your crew kind of all even and balanced. You don't want to have a situation where 3 crew members are really good and the other 7 are terrible, because you never know if you might lose those 3 good ones. You might be kind of put in a bad position, or not even lose, but if they're busy with something and you have to use someone else, and it'd be frustrating to have under-trained guys going with you. And then because it's kind of a single player thing, the other rules, the laws, behavioral, official rules, and house rules kind of wouldn't apply. I mean, behavior rules, you could put the don't cheat, but in a single player game, it's kind of hard to enforce people to not cheat while they're playing it, so then the second part were the 3 questions. The first question with are the rules concrete? I'd like to think for the most part yes. I mean, I can see maybe I was thinking how to work in the other rules with kind of a multiplayer thing. Maybe if there's kind of an arena mode where you and like 2 crew members, you could play against another player and his 2 crew members he picks in a small arena where you would use kind of the tactical squad battling against each other, and then that would work in some of the other rules. But I don't know, I didn't really fully flesh out that idea. And then the second part, which is do the rules help the goal? I'll admit, the first time when I was coming up with this, the goal that I just had was just explore. I thought that was kind of a good enough goal, but then I thought about it and I realized Minecraft, which is a really open-ended game, even they had to put in a goal. They added the end where you fight the Ender Dragon because they realized that they didn't have a goal. So the goal that I had to come up with is that you would use your influence and your ability to take over the entirety of the other empire. You know, you could try and achieve that goal at your own pace. You could either mess around in neutral space and just kind of do your own thing while the enemy empire is also expanding and doing their own thing. Or you could go right in and attack them and try and force them out. It'd be up to the player on, you know, what they wanted to, what kind of pace they wanted to take. And then after that, after the other empire is gone and only your empire remains, it might just kind of become a free mode where you go around and explore. And that would sort of tie into the third question with, is it rewarding? And I would like to think the exploration would be rewarding, you know, getting to see all sorts of neat stuff. But I understand that, you know, for a lot of people, maybe that wouldn't be. And so then the rewarding aspect would probably be the brutal military empirical conquest of the other empire by your empire. So there we go. I hope I was clear on the rules and goals that I'm trying to establish for the game. And I hope to see you guys next week.